Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and let me hurry and change my Stampin' seal here real quick. I was out and I wanted to hurry and change that, so let me put in my refill, and then I can't do two things at once. Okay, now I'm all ready. Now I have adhesive for my project. So I have for you a really cute card. Now this is a sneak peek of a stamp set that's going to be in the upcoming January through June. I believe those are the right months. But anyway, it goes live in January. And this is one of the stamp sets that will be in that catalog. Or you could find it on my online store in January if that helps too. But anyway, so when you go, they had a huge event this weekend. It's called OnStage, which is like their convention, and you order stuff and you get a stamp set and you don't know what it's going to be. So this would not be my choice of stamp set, because if you watch my videos, you know I am not fond of coloring. I complain about it all the time. But this is what I got. It's a really cute set. I love the words and stuff. And then I saw this technique that they shared this weekend, and her name was Chloe Evans. She lives in Australia, but loved her idea, so I thought I would share it with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use the In the Moment stamp set and to make this card here with this new kind of coloring technique. Okay, let's start with stamping. So I'm going to take the two stamps. This one says, and I love this saying, it says, "You're always so good to others. Be good to yourself too." I'm going to mount that one up, and then that lady in the bed with her little dog and a good book. I'm going to put that one. I might have to get a bigger block. Nope, I think that'll be okay. Oh, wait, I didn't get it on there all the way. I usually I have to get, hold on, I got to get a bigger block. I like a border around my stamp with the block. So I'm going to use, look how much easier that is. So I'm going to use the bigger block. This is a, what block is this? E block rather than the D. Okay, and then I have a square here. Now I know that the layer that it's going to go on is 3.5 by 3.5, so this must be 3 3/8 square. But all these measurements are on my blog. I would go there and check the measurements, because on my blog they'll be right. In my brain, sometimes they're right and sometimes they're not. And then I just have a scrap, and all of this is Night of Navy cardstock. I'm going to use my Versamark, and I'm going to ink up the words, and I'm going to stamp those here on the scrap. Don't have to worry if they're straight. I'm going to just try to get them in the middle. And you can't see it, but they're actually there. And then that big stamp, I'm going to actually ink it up this way with the Versamark again. Like I said, this is the lady hanging out with her dog reading the good book. Maybe not the good book, but a good book. Okay, I'm going to try to get my square straight here. And I'm going to just stamp her upside down. No, I'm going to stamp her the right way. Let that Versamark get onto that paper. Apply a little pressure on the inside. I like to set my stamp down and then put a little pressure, well, to this, so I don't get, if the ink has on the corner of my block, if there's ink here, it won't get onto my paper. But I don't know, maybe that's not true all the time. Okay, so right now I'm going to turn on my heat gun so it gets nice and warm, and then it'll be ready, because we're going to go ahead and emboss on here. So there's my heat gun with a little bit of noise. And then I'm going to get some embossing powder on those words. Just kind of flick off the extra. Looks pretty good. And then do the same thing to my square here. And this is just the white embossing powder. It comes now in a collection of like black, clear, and white. Maybe there's another one in there, but I'm not sure. But I know they come in collections now, and you get a bottle of each of them. I like to keep mine in a little tub and just dip my paper in there. I just think it's easier to handle that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and now melt that embossing powder onto my paper. So the Versamark just holds it in place, and then the heat from the heat tool melts that powder back onto our paper. So when you see it start to turn shiny, that's when you know it's melted and good to go. And then I would just let it cool down a little bit before you touch it. And now what I like to do is kind of follow where the heat embossing, or where it's turning shiny with my heat tool. I don't hold it in one spot very long because it will scorch your paper. But I see people tell me I can't do it that way. I have to kind of just go along and follow as it starts to get hot like that. No, everybody has to learn their own ways. But there you go. So now I have them both. I'm going to let them cool down just a tad. Let's bring in some other pieces and get the base of our card ready. It's going to be a really simple, fast card. So I have Evening Night of Navy. I couldn't think of the name of the cardstock. This is just 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. Just your regular card base. Fold that in half. And then I have some designer series paper, and this is from, dang it, is it a beautiful tree, lovely tree? It's in the annual catalog with all the tree ones, and I'm gonna just take, although any background I think would work. I kind of like the leaves seem kind of peaceful for this lady reading her book, so that's what I went with. And the color scheme was just right. So I'm going to just lay that down on the front of my card. I'm going to leave the inside of my card completely blank. That way I can write on it when I send it to whomever needs my thoughts at the moment. So I'm going to just take a piece of basic white. This is 5 1/4 by 4. Just your typical layer, and layer that right in there. And there we go. Okay, so now let's take care of this piece right here. Well, no, on second thought, I'm going to cut this one out first, because then I can do them both at the same time. So I'm going to bring in my mini machine and my plates. I have a number 1 here. All of these come with your machine. I have a number 2, and this is my pretty scratched up one. I like to put that one on the bottom. And then I'm going to lay my paper there and my dies. And the die I'm going to pick is this one right here. And this is from the Tasteful Labels dies. But I'm going to lay them right here. I don't think I'll need washi tape, but you guys know me. I say that all the time, and then they're like, dang it, I should have used the washi tape. Nope, I think it's going to be just, we'll just figure it out. If it's a little crooked, that's the way I meant for it to be. And then I'm going to just lay number 2 right there on top. We're going to just slide that through our machine. I'm going to kind of hold some pressure so it doesn't move. Oh, and it didn't. We're good. And cut that label out. Now when I take my label out, I'm going to make sure it stays, I'm going to make sure my paper stays in my label. And let's see if it will stay. No, but it didn't stay. I'm going to have to put it back in, doggone it. Okay. But I'm going to use my label here, or my die label, as kind of a template. I've got my paper back in there where it belongs. At least I'm trying. And you know what that's, I'm going to use the washi tape this way. I want to make sure it stays where it is. So a little bit of washi tape like this on the back, because I want my piece of cardstock to stay in my label die. That's what I was trying to say earlier. There we go. Something just like that. Now, with my colored pencils, I moved it again. Did you see that? Oh my, let's try that again. Okay, let me put my label, or my cardstock, back in my label die, tape it down better, and this time I'm not going to let it move. There we go. Now it's ready. So with my colored pencils, although I'm going to use the white one, so I don't know if you'd call it like the colored pencils or not, I'm going to just go in there and trace the edge of my die. And just because normally I like to layer my labels, and look, I went around my finger, and make sure your finger moves. But now I have a little like trace around that goes on my die and gives it a little bit of a border around there. Except I'm going to try to fix, and I don't have an eraser here. I was going to try to fix that little boo-boo right there, but I guess I'm going to have to live with it. Okay, so then on this piece here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color with that white pencil all the areas around the lady or girl reading her book. I think this is a blanket here that's going over her shoulder. I'm going to leave the dog white. Get this blanket. I think I'm going to leave this pillow. I think this is a pillow behind her. I'm going to leave that white too. And I'm not being really particular. I'm just getting some color on there, or really covering over the color with the white here. Let's see. This is the dog, so this part is the blanket here too. Then I'm going to come here on the edge here. A little bit down there. Okay, then this is the dog's leg, so this here needs to be white. This is his other leg, I'm gonna say. And then there, so now we have the dog, we have her hand, the pillow, her head. I'm gonna leave the book white too, and her pants, but I think I left the socks white on this one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and color her socks in too. We'll see which one we like better. Get some more of the bed down here and the blankets. Go a little here. Get this side of the blanket over here. Now here she has a coffee cup, so I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to color that. I'm going to go around it. That kind of highlights and makes that stick out. And then get up on this side of the blanket here. And there we go. That's all the coloring I'm going to do. And see how she kind of is highlighted now? How she sticks out like that? I don't know. I thought it was a really cool technique. It's really quick coloring. So then I'm going to just take and layer this. If I can find what I did with that white square. Here it is. Onto my white square. That. There we go. A few dimensionals on the back of that. And now when Chloe made her card, she did use Night of Navy. She used a pink, and I think it was petal pink, so it would work on other colors of cardstock, but I think it needs to be a bright, vibrant color or a dark color like this one to really turn out well. So then on this, I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the bottom. And then I'm going to just put a little bit of tape on the top. Oops, get those covers off. And then lay this down here in this corner. Looks like that. Kind of pretty, right? And then last but not least, we'll bring in some of these sequins. These are the Artisy Bloom sequins. You know I love these. I've used them all the time. I'm going to take some of those light blue. I think it's really pool party, but I'm going to just take those. Let's see if I can get my take a pick tool. Nope, I need to do some work with my take a pick tool and get his putty end is out. I need to replace him. So that will be on my agenda maybe today. And I'm going to just set the two little sequins right there. Really, those are the larger of the sequins. And one little one down there, just for entertainment. And there you go. So there's my card today. And I really do like that colored pencil with the white embossing on that dark cardstock. So you'll have to give it a try and let me know what you think. I have lots more colors of or product from the new coming January mini catalog that I would love to share for you. So hopefully soon I'll do a video and we'll just have a sneak peek with a little bit of product. That's all I have for you today. I hope you liked my video. Like I said, if you need the measurements, you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and I'll have all the measurements there. And I'll have the list of products, well, except for the stamp set. I can't say that one yet, but if you want a list of products there too. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Bye-bye.